Hello team, my name is Mahesh. Today we are looking into one AWS service which is AWS CodeDeploy. On the last part, we have implemented the CI which is continuous integration on the AWS itself. On that part, we have configured the code build and the code pipeline. So today we are looking totally focusing on the AWS code deploy because we are deploying the application on the EC2 instances throughout the or throughout the Docker image or throughout the like artifact we are creating on the CI process. So let's go on. We need to create one application over here. The application is basically microservices. For each microservices in the organization that are such as let's take an example. Amazon have thousands of microservices, uh, which is which is work together to build one larger application, such as the card is a separate function. Card is a separate microservice, or payments processor is a separate microservice. So those are microservices are built differently and like merge in the application, merge in the larger application. So that the basically the application is a we are creating one microservice based application. So let's name it as simple Python app, as we have implemented the CI on the same name, Python app. uh, we are deploying our compute instance is EC2. Our hosting platform is basically EC2, and we need to create one EC2 instances right there. Uh, on the AWS code deploy part, we have a multiple components such as deployments, applications, or deployment configurations, on-premises instances. So we are also focusing on that on the next part itself. So first, we need to we need to configure the AWS code deploy. After that, we can integrate the code deploy with the AWS code pipeline, because AWS code pipeline is an orchestrator. Uh, it will invoke the process of invokes the process of code build and the code deploy. So we we need first we need to configure the AWS code deploy overall. So we have configured it. So let's go on a IAM role, because we need to create two IAM roles for EC2 instances to connect to code deploy and code for the code deploy also. So let's go on the roles. The IAM roles is for IAM role is used for connecting for service to service, and the IAM user is for connecting user to service. Let me show it to you. AWS code. We are currently providing access to EC2. EC2 allow EC2 to allow call other services on your behalf. So click on next. EC code deploy. Code deploy full access. Yes, this one. Amazon EC2 role for the AWS code deploy. AWS code deploy EC2 instances will communicate with the code deploy itself. So let's name it as EC2. You can name whatever you want. It is for like our we need to remember it, right? So EC2 instance code deploy. Okay, let's create role. We have created role for the EC2 instances and all those things. To connect to the code deploy service, we can create another role for the code deploy. So once we do the changes on the code deploy itself, we need a one role for the code deploy. Let's go and create a role, code deploy role for Python. Okay, let's create a role. We need to we need to just give me a second. We have created this instance profile. The instance profile is already there. We need to connect this instance profile to the EC2 instances. To EC2 instance, that EC2 instance will communicate with the AWS code deploy itself. So let me confirm it once. We have created that EC2 instance code deploy. Uh, Code deploy role for Python application. This is code deploy role, and this is EC2 instance. EC2 instance role. Okay, got it. We have a ARN already. Let's go and let's create one EC2 instance. if you're not able to see the instance profile, you need to create a particular instance profile for that. Such as, like, I have created one command, I have configured one command that will create one instance profile name, whatever you can select, the whatever name you want, and you need to allow that instance profile to a particular role. If you're not able to see the instance profile by default over here, you need to go on a AWS CLI, or you need to configure the AWS CLI on the local machine, and after that you need to run that command on the this part, if you're not able to see on that case itself. So let's create one EC2 instance called deploy agent. I have forgotten about that. For EC2 instances, we need to install one agent on the end machine, that host machine we are connecting to, and code deploy will deploy the application to the EC2 instances, that particular EC2 instances that the agent where the agent installed on that machine. So let's create one EC2 basic EC2 instance. Let's allow the access, advanced details, and provide the IAM role. The IAM role which is test over here. You can check from here, EC2 instance code deploy. So let's check over here, EC2 instance. Yes, this one, EC2 instance code deploy. I have created one script. From that script, you can directly install. Just give me a second. Let me show it to you. You can directly install the agent on the end machine. This script is for the particular IAM ID. It is for the Amazon Linux itself. But if you are using Ubuntu or any other OS, I can show you to you. There is one website. From that you can get these details, or you can configure the particular code deploy role. Code deploy agent on the machine. You can say install code deploy agent on Ubuntu or Red Hat, any other OS. You will select that. So this is this is all the command that I have pasted here. This is user data. Basically, it will run once. Basically, you acts as a bash script that once the machine is power on, it will automatically install those user data. It is run only once, and it will install all those dependencies that are mentioned over here. So I have just copy pasted the command over here as mentioned. I mentioned here. So we need to download one file that are stored in a S3 bucket on the AWS, and the S3 bucket name we are getting from here itself. So let's go on over here. It is segregated by the region and all those things. So currently uh, we are in the AP South one. Yes, EP South one. AP South one. Just give me a second. Where is the AP South one? Yeah, on this region we are currently working on the Mumbai itself. So this is bucket name that I have inserted here, and the region identifier. The region identifier is this one. Just copy pasted this one, those two on over there, and just make this command. I have just if you can copy, like, if you are running the EC2 instances on the same place, that's okay. You can copy paste it over from here. Otherwise, just you need to just change one command from here, and just all those things are kept in the same way. And if you are using AWS particular AMI ID, as I'm using Amazon Linux, you don't need to worry. Just copy paste it and just go ahead. Just launched this instance. We have launched this instance. Let's verify the IAM role. No, IAM role attached to. Okay, the IAM role is attached. Let's focus on the code deploy itself. Code deploy. Uh, our code deployments applications. Okay, here it is. Let's create a deployment group. Throughout the deployment group, we can configure, like, select our EC2 instances, or creating a tag based roles, such as from the tags, the AWS code deploy will identify particular EC2 instances. If we are using like multiple tags, such as broad, uh, environment, Environment. Ignore if there are some spelling mistake, I guess. Yeah, environment prod. From the tags are very useful in the AWS environment. Basically, tags from the tags itself, we can segregate the resources. If particular resources allocated to particular department, through the tag, we can do the separation from here. It is also help in the cost optimization and all those things, such as right now we are using the tags for the AWS code deploy because the code deploy will identify the EC2 instances from the tags itself. So we have created one tag such as yeah, environment is equal to prod. You can select any like key value base pair tags over here. So let's go and create let's create a deployment group name. Simple Python app deployment DP group, we can say deployment. Okay, you can name whatever you want. Okay, so we have created this role just now. In the IAM role itself, we have selected the permission for the IAM, so we can keep in place currently because in the blue green we have to deploy a separate prod and like a staging environment. So we are not looking focusing on that today. I can make a separate video how you can like there are many ways to deploy application in the like deployment types such as canary or blue green or there are various ways to deploy one application. So currently we are selecting the by default in place because yeah. So let's select the EC2 instances because our end machine is a EC2 instance. So let's name as a AWS code agent. If you have attached any such like if the tag is not there, so it automatically shows the zero unique identified instance. If we are selecting the correct tag and the correct EC2 instances, like just like here we have selected name key and just selected the code agent, it will automatically shows the unique match instance. So we didn't need to change anything over here. Load balancer we don't need, and create deployment group. We have automatic there are option for the install the agent automatically, but we have installed the by default. We have installed just out throughout the user bash script that we have selected on the on the user uh, there is one name user data script we have selected over there. So we have created the application and the we have created the EC2 instances and installed the code deploy agent. Now we have installed the application. We have created the deployment group, but but we haven't provided anything yet, such as the application type. Is it, or how we can implement this application, how it will compile all those things, and from where it will fetch the image and get the image. So all these things are present over here. I have created one folder which is scripts. Inside the scripts, I have two three folders. Let me show you to first. For the build spec file, please note of this. For the build spec file, which is used in a code build process, over here, it is flexible in nature. You can place on any folder in the repository itself. You can fetch the build spec file from there. But the app spec file, app spec file compulsory need to be in the root folder of the repository because it didn't provide that much flexibility over the code deploy to fetch the app spec file from the anywhere in the folder. So basically in the app spec file we have selected our app.py, which is our Python application that we have installed that we have written, and we have created two bash scripts, which is application stop container.sh and start container.sh. It will fetch the start container.sh. It is already mentioned on the scripts folder. In the start container.sh, it will pull the image from the DockerHub itself on the latest tag. You can select whatever tag you want. It could be like like we can say uh, particular a particular microservice like particular project based, such as this project is for the payments application, so you can pull the payment tag from this repository, or from you can select particular payment. You can pull, if you want to pull particular repository, you need to just change the tag over here. I have just one image over there. It tag has a name. So uh, on the over here, let me log into the DockerHub to show it to you. Mm, sign in, sign in. Okay, this is Flask application, and there is only one tag which is latest. There are there are multiple tags on the environment, based on the environments on your environment itself. But I have only one tag which is latest. I have pulled this particular tag itself, and just run one application from the Docker command, which is running on the port 5000, and just running on this particular image that we have created. So on the GitHub itself, we have created those two files, abstract.yaml and the those two scripts that we are looking. And the script.sh is already here. You can copy paste it from here. We have installed the Docker at the end. Might the code deploy agent is running. Let's go on create one pipeline. Uh, for on the last pipeline, we are implementing on that we are upgrade. We have on the last part, we have done the build and all those things. We are editing this pipeline itself and add one stage over here. So let's add a stage, deployment. Yeah, let's add one stage. We need to place one group, code and deploy for Python app. Action provider, we are selecting code deploy itself. It will select the region, and we are selecting the build artifact, application name, code deploy, sorry, simple Python app, code deployment group, which is this one. On the deployment group, all those EC2 instances and all those things are configured. Let's click on done. Once we save that, it will run the pipeline again, such as look. Okay, so we have added the code deploy on the pipeline part. So let's made one change over here on any application, such as add one space and commit the change. Once we commit the change, it will start the pipeline automatically and run the process. So let's look over here. Yeah, it is running. It is currently copying the code. Then it will build and push the code repository to the DockerHub, and DockerHub, the code deploy will pull the image from the DockerHub itself and uh, run the Docker container on the EC2 instances, which is our host machine. So also we need to stop the stop container.sh. We need to provide the container ID particular. For that, I have created one variable over here, which you can see from the Docker PS itself. It will the Docker PS command produce a lot of output, such as container ID, the command which is running, the port which are exposed, all those commands. So throughout the AWK, I have filtered a specific output. From the specific output, I have printed the first column itself, which is container ID, and the container ID I have pasted over here, and remove the container if there are containers running in the previously. So let's check is it complete or not. We got one error. Let's look what is the error we are getting on the AWS CodeDeploy itself. CodeDeploy. From the errors you can get more information about the code deploy itself. Let's go on application code deploy. I'm not able to get where I have got error. So let's go on Python deployment. Okay, located on the Amazon S3. The insufficient permission. Okay, there are some permission issues, I guess. So we need to check on the code deploy. I need to see uh, the the build history itself. So build history. Okay, simple Python. Not here. Code deploy deployments. Okay, it's not visible here. It's weird kind of. Uh, okay, let's go on a pipeline again. Let me check what was the error. Uh, go on here. Unable to access the artifact from the S3. Object key code deploy artifact from the I think we have made some mistake on the code deploy part. So let's go on the code deploy over here. Let's go on application edit. We need to change anything over here, such as no, we don't need to change anything over here. Okay, the code build itself. The code build is successful. Okay, the code deploy. There are some issues with the code deploy. Okay, no worries. We can create one deployments over here. From the deployments, we can deploy like copy the particular application from the GitHub itself, and like pull the particular application from the repository itself and paste it over here. So let's go on a repository. Like copy the username and the repository ID, which is commit ID, which we need to paste it latest one. Let's go on over here. Copy the particular commit ID. Basically, we are configuring what type of we are configuring like fetching the repository and particular commit ID. All those things are set up over here. These things are done. It will run the process automatically now. Just look at the events. Yeah, look what we have done on the deployment on the application itself. We have created the deployment group, but we haven't provided the deployment set. On the deployments for the the deployment is basically for the like all those things such as rollback configurations, or if the application is not deployed, what was the step to all the steps are mentioned on the deployment itself. So let me just give me a second. So let's look what was the error we are getting. Let's look at the events script. Okay, there are some issues with the Docker script. Start containerization need to run as a root failed. Okay, Docker daemon is not running over there. We need to log into the EC2 instances and start the Docker container. Docker daemon itself. It is not started by default. So those errors you can find out from the error itself. Just we have look over here. The Docker daemon is not running. On if you like, let's check system status Docker. Okay, the Docker daemon is inactive. Let me enable and start it. Enable and start. Once we done that, we need to again run the pipeline, and it will start the process automatically again. Okay, it is running on the active state itself. There are some Docker running over here. No, there are no images running currently. So let me run the Docker image, Docker pipeline again. For a pipeline, select the particular pipeline and release change. It will copy the source code, then I build, and then push. All the steps are done. All the steps it will perform at all the steps are it will perform one by one. So it will currently source code is done. It is building the pipeline, building the application itself, and it will push. Look, it shows about 22 minutes ago. Now it will show 6 minutes ago. Currently it's showing. Once the build process is done, let's look what it shows. Let's wait for the build to run. It shows a few seconds ago. That means our code build process is done. It will the code build process have uh, push the latest image on push the latest image on the DockerHub itself as part of our build spec YAML file. On the build spec, we can see the Docker push command is over here. It will push the new new Docker image once the the build spec file is running. Then let's look. We got the error again. I guess need to refresh. I guess. Okay, we got one error. Go on a deployments again. Let's go over here. View events. It is failed again. So what was the error? Getting same. Okay. Go on a pipeline. Select the particular pipeline and retry this stage. Let's check now if we get the same error or what. Might we are getting the same error again. Okay, just check. Okay, it shows the Docker daemon is not running. Okay, script specified the location. Docker need to run as a root field with the exit port 125. Okay, pulling the Docker image, Docker pull the latest. Docker daemon is not running. We have started the Docker daemon itself here. Node connect. Okay, those many errors we are getting. Docker, yes, Docker daemon is running. We need to restart the service once. The CodeDeploy service. systemctl restart CodeDeploy. It will restart the CodeDeploy and we can perform the action again. It has restarted. Let's check the status. Is there any issues? No, there are no issues. It is running fine. Okay, so retry the development. You can retry the development from here or from the pipeline itself or from here. There are many ways. View events. It's showing it after install. Right, it will done this. We are not facing this issue this time. Might we can say. Okay, it is successful. So let's go on view events. It's still showing failed. So might need to retry once. Okay, just retry once for our confirmation. Let's check the Docker image is running or if it is running. So let's copy the IP from here, the public IP we are getting. Let's create a new tab, :5000 and the user http:// look, the application is running currently. We need to check the CodeDeploy service because it currently shows the fail code pipeline itself. So let's go on a deployments. I don't know where this error get how this thing get failed. So let's try to release the change again. It will delete the EC2 delete this Docker image and start automatically. Okay, so just wait on the okay, just wait for a second. It will delete this one and run the new one. Building processes. We have like pushed the Docker. We have configured. We have deployed the Docker image on the EC2 instances, but it's still showing the deployment failed. So let's wait for some time until it's done. Okay, it's still showing the failed. Unable to access the might it got stuck over here. Try failed action. Okay, we need to allow the access over here. From IAM itself, we need to allow the IAM full access on the role itself. EC2 instance code deploy, add permission, EC2 full access. Now this time we can check is it running or not. Code deploy. Code pipeline. And then just retry this process. Retry stage. We have allowed this access to the EC2 instances will communicate the AWS code deploy, and the code deploy will directly communicate with the EC2 instances with full access, we can say. No, it's still failing. Unable to access the artifact. Okay, there are some issues with the artifact itself, so we have done some changes on the over here. Artifact artifact.yaml. We haven't provided any artifact as such. Okay, just let me reconfigure the deployment application. Okay, create deployment, selecting deployment group, particular application. The particular commit ID, latest commit ID. Let's look on the pipeline. Is it running? Yeah, it is failed. There are some issues. Okay, after install it will fail. Okay, the port is already allocated. It will not run the stop container.sh properly. Okay, we need to manually run the stop container.sh. Docker kill container ID, copy and paste, and remove. Alright. Okay, this thing is done. Just rerun the deployment. Rerun the pipeline itself. Change. It's still failing. Go on events. After install script has failed. Okay, it need to be run as a root. Program is external endpoint. Port is already allocated. It is showing. Docker ps -a docker kill, copy and paste. Error, not running. Okay, let's look where the port is currently utilizing. Let's add configure PM program. Correct 5000 port. Okay, it's not running it's not running right now. Okay. Let me restart the service once. Let the system sit here. Restart. Code deploy. Okay, our application is running fine totally. I need to check what is this error we are getting over here on the pipelines. I will let all you know what is this error you are getting particularly. because of it, which is the pipeline is getting failed. Our Python app is running. Let's check on the browser itself also. When EC2 instance public IP, EC2 instances which are running, and the public IP address. Let me paste over here. Application is running on user and port 5000. Okay, we are getting issue http:// the user. Okay, there are some IP change, I guess. 186.82. Okay, not running. So local ps. Okay, the services which is the container which is not running. Pipeline. Retry the development stage. If we can see in a deployments, it will get succeeded, and the container is also the container is present here. So let's retry this development, check whether the development is getting fixed or not. Install. Yeah, after install is done in 2 seconds, and yeah, the code deploy has been successful. Okay, let me try one thing. I can go on an application and just remove the deployments part. Go on the over here and just view details. No, we don't have. We're not able to deploy. We're not able to remove this part. Okay, go on pipelines. You can see over here our container is running and our application is running successfully. Okay, I will check and let you know all how you can solve this error, and we can see how we can look into this issue. Might it will require me some time to resolve this issue. So okay, we have successfully implemented the code deploy, and once the user do some changes or do some code change and run the commit, the code pipeline will automatically sense that, and it will invoke the code build and the code deploy, and it will do the build process and push the code to allow the code deploy to deploy this application on the EC2 on the Docker container. It depends on the application to application. Our flow is this working like this. So that's it for this. We have implemented the successful CI/CD pipeline, and yeah, done.